Y'all know how we do today. Welcome to the show. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Bubbles.
Welcome in. Y'all, I blinked my eyes. It was just 6:50, and I blinked my eyes, and I looked at the clock again, and it was 7:03.
Wow.
Did I
That
pass out?
one blink.
That was a long ass blink.
Yes, blink.
You got a lot going on now.
So did you check, Bubble?
What?
Did you check and see if you blocked?
Girl, when I saw that, I screamed. I was like, I know you lying to me. She blocked you.
Girl, that's so hilarious. I want to know, did you get blocked? Because you said you scared to check. You bet. I know you checked.
I did. I'm not blocked. I can still go and see in the little caftans and a broke ankle. I'm still open. I'm still I was girl, I screamed. I was like, that can't be the right account. Maybe she on the right account, wrong account. Let me go look. You don't talk about like the actors. It's always just the character. So that surprises me.
Has anybody heard me say anything? But that's okay. I just want to know because you said that in your comment. I want to know, did you check?
Well, her fans came for me when I said she needed to just go on vacation when she broke her ankle. Girl, them people came for me like an angry mob. How dare you say you hate Catherine?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say? I hated.
Who said they hated her? Nobody don't got. I don't have anything against a single actor on both. That
That's
being
the
said,
same shit that was told to me about by Michael.
if Brooke and Liam jumped off a cliff tomorrow, I wouldn't, be upset about it.
And I have wished horrible things on Brooke Logan, never on Catherine Kelly Lane because I know the difference.
Exactly.
But these fans don't know the difference, and they keep riling shit up. When I made that post, all I said was, she probably needs to be at home resting because this is serious. People, how dare you say something so ugly about her and tag her? I didn't tag her. Do y'all, first of all, y'all don't even know how the goddamn internet works. I didn't tag her. You got to use the @ symbol and her name to tag a person.
Well, hell, I just got back on Twitter a couple of months ago because I made my page in November, but I never got on it. Giselle made me get on. I had to get a whole new password, all that, because I forgot all about that shit. So I got a whole new password. I get on, I ain't got off. So in the earlier times of Twitter, I don't know, maybe I did make a tweet and at her, but I don't know the difference, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very naive about how Twitter works. So I don't know what I did. But all I know is
if you made it in November, I could understand what you're saying. That in November you might not have understand what you were doing, or I'll put it this way: you may not have understood the soap Twitter rules among soap tweeters because we all have to learn them when we come to Twitter. So
because it's very different from Instagram. Because see, I was heavily into Instagram. See, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Yeah, see, Maya, somebody that's a fan of Steffi, we all on the same motherfucking team, got at me about snitch tagging. I was like, snitch tagging? What is that?
Oh, it happens. Plus, just like people get reported for things they say about fictional characters. Case in point, last week I could not get into my Twitter account for a few hours. Why? Because somebody reported a tweet that I tweeted about how Donna needed to be slapped for screwing around with people's husbands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These people will report you for all kind of shit. Now I appealed it.
I was suspended for a whole week for the same tweet. I said somebody should slap Jack. No, I said Jack Finnegan deserves a slap. That was it. I didn't say that was one damn sentence. And I was suspended for 7 whole days.
From where?
Here's from Twitter. But here's the thing. It only lasted a few hours for me because when I got on Twitter and it told me that my account was going to be locked for 12 hours, but that I could still browse, but I wouldn't be able to tweet or anything. Except here's
DMs.
except here's the thing. I wasn't agreeing to do shit. I peeled it and they took that shit off. Because
So
I'm
I
like,
peeled it. I peeled mine. It was one sentence. And it was 7 days. And
Y'all,
7 days had come and gone, and they still hadn't released it. So I went on ahead and said, fuck it, and just hit the button so that I could get released. I mean, really, I hadn't already waited 7 days, but this was well before I noticed Twitter started making some little changes, because now, if you're saying something insulting, Twitter will pop up and say, did you mean that shit? Like Instagram.
Yeah,
I pressed right on. Yes, I meant what I said.
Yes, I meant what I
Because
said.
the Twitter rules was that you're not supposed to wish or entice anybody severe bodily harm. Now, since when is a slap severe?
Also, my tweet,
who's doing the slapping, girl.
not to mention my tweet
and
was
it's
to
fictional.
and my tweet, the tweet that they were talking about, it was to the official Bold and Beautiful account.
Mine too,
Because
ma'am.
They labeled it as
Let me see
targeted
if I can find
harassment.
this here.
I was like, targeted harassment of who? I didn't exactly.
I can't
I
wait
didn't
to
at
find that
anybody.
tweet and show it
That
to
was to the that was a reply to the official Bold and the Beautiful account. I said this was a reply to a tweet from an account for a fictional television show referring to a fictional character. There
Correct.
was no
And
so
it
no.
was under, all that.
It was like, I was like, hell no, I ain't agreeing to take this. I'll take the rap for some shit I did, but I ain't doing no time if I ain't did no crime. If I'm gonna get suspended, I need to go do some shit to get suspended for.
Let me tell y'all something. Y'all is mere wee babies talking about you only got shut down for 7 days. 7 days is a breath of air for me. That's a whisper. Them people on Facebook put me down for 30 days because I said somebody ought to slap the shit out of Maud. Y'all know who Maud is, right?
The character that ain't even on TV anymore.
So I wasn't talking even about B. Arthur, and they put me down for 30 days. 30 days. Then they said you can appeal. Well, the appeal process at Facebook, they send you to a tribunal. The tribunal is looking at shit like serious real world problems, like somebody got set on fire, and somebody made a post about it. That's the kind of shit they talking about at the tribunal. They do not care about me saying that somebody ought to slap the shit out of Maud. I said for 30 days, and Facebook ain't stupid. They got you, when they get your IP address, that's it. So I got like 4, 5 different accounts on Facebook, plus 2 business accounts. They shut all of my shit down for 30 days. Every account gone. Messenger. Oh, you think you gonna go through the back door and talk to your friends on Messenger? Let us deny your access to that too.
That's the only reason why I got on Twitter, Bubbles, because I'm on my second strike on Instagram for that shit. Instagram got closed me out twice already. They told me if I do it again, I'm going to a place and I ain't never getting out.
You better get Twitter VPN and get you a backup account like Sam do.
Right, because they already permanently suspended my first account.
The first one, yeah.
And that's a comment. I was not mad that we left Twitter Spaces, because and how come Twitter will never get a damn dollar out of me for any subscription, because I really only tweet on Twitter about soap and fictional shit. I might engage in a few conversations, but all the shit I talk about is fictional. And you want to completely suspend my whole account for talking about fictional people? When I see racist tweets all day long that just sit there for days and weeks after being reported by multiple people, man, they can go to hell.
Yeah.
They can go to hell. I got the backup, but one more time on my current account and it's a wrap.
It's crazy. That's why I don't even go.
But those talks about Elon Musk buying it changed and loosened up something. I guess they've been listening to people talk shit about him, because they have been making those changes. People have been appealing and saying it's on fictional characters and been getting out. Now, when it happened to me, of course, my account was permanently suspended, but that was years ago. And currently, the last time, that was still probably in 2020.
Girl, that was still when we had that long ass ongoing thread running. When your old account got busted.
Yep, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
What was it about?
No, it was like 50 of us in a thread just talking shit for
Oh,
years.
shit.
Like
Yeah.
literally for years, from like
Yeah, like literally.
2018. Yeah,
Wow.
from 2018 until 2000. We stopped really using it. We
Probably late 2019 because it was before COVID.
it was before
Damn.
COVID. I
Yeah.
wasn't really watching. What before
It's because
COVID?
it's because the thread really fell off when they was doing Steffi Bad because everybody was starting to get pissed. It was like, you know what?
And
I can
stop
come on
watching. You right.
Yeah,
That's what it
that's
was.
exactly what happened.
That's what happened.
What did I
The thread
miss?
basically died because
Mm-hmm.
the Steffi. But I can speak for myself. I stopped watching. That's what come. I was like,
That's what happened.
2019. I stopped watching, and that's what
with a
happened.
lot
So
of us.
we literally just stopped posting about it in the thread. So yeah, we had been done so bad for so long that it gets to a point where it's definitely not entertaining. I'd rather watch something that's more uplifting,
Yeah.
something more entertaining.
Yeah,
So
the thread came to a natural conclusion and like halfway through the Steffi sitting on the couch and ain't doing shit era, but being Liam's talked to about his problems for Hope. That was driving the shit out of people. It was
Yeah, yeah, Reginald. This because I was asked Bubbles, did she get blocked too? That's all. This is what we're talking about. And how sensitive these motherfucking social media people are about fictional characters.
I wished I could have been there when this like went down so I could know what it was that you said that was.
I have to agree with Amaya. I believe that this was a cat. This sounds like this was a snitch tag, so to speak, or somebody sent her something. Because I refuse to believe for 2 seconds that KKL was just cruising on the bold tag, saw something in this that somebody said about Brooke and did that because, well, first of all, one, that means, like, let's be honest, half of Soap Twitter that does bold would be blocked by now.
Yeah.
I ain't said nothing nice about Brooke Logan in many a year.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. It cracks me up. Like, it's just too funny to be like, you picked me.
y'all, Lady Sanchez is on YouTube.
Yeah, I just sent her, hey. I
Who
saw
was
that.
that again?
Oh, Brian Like Girl, yeah, that is Lady Sanchez.
Hey, Lady Sanchez, we ain't seen you in a piece, girl. What it do?
What it do, sister?
Ooh.
Well, we already 16 minutes in talking about the injustice of social media. At some point, we need to actually talk about Finn and how fine and fantastic he was today.
Let me
Did
tell you
y'all
what.
like how
He's just so damn hot and sexy.
Oh,
I mean,
did
seriously. When he lays up there in that bed and he's getting in somebody's head, like yesterday it was Mike. The way he talks to him when he's trying to get into their head is so sexy to me.
Right. He was like,
It-
so Mike, so listen, dude, you really don't want this. You don't want this, buddy. I mean, you know, you can just let me go, dude. I ain't gonna tell nobody, but you know what? If Sheila go down, you probably gonna go down too. I mean, I ain't trying to tell you what to do, dude, but I'm just saying, if I was, I would let me go.
It's the way he communicates when he's trying to get into their head, and it's what I always like about his character. What people was calling boring, I always liked that. To me, he took the time to make the character that warm and that soft. You feel me? Like even the sound of his voice, to me, it's all intentional.
Finn got a beguiling
like
ass voice
yesterday,
when he wants to.
Yeah, because his voice is different.
What happened?
I said his voice is different.
Yeah, it sounds like he's talking from his diaphragm. Like he coming from the deep.
He sounds more powerful.
Because that man is determined. He trying to get back to his wife.
He's playing the role. He's playing the role of a man that is determined to get to his wife and family, and he is doing a damn good job, isn't he? And he's looking quite tasty, like a snack doing it.
Sheila finally washed his face and put him in a fresh shirt, y'all.
Thank God.
She washed his face and put him in a fresh shirt, and the skies opened.
Yes. She's been trying to take care of him.
Look, that's how you know you look good. when somebody do the damn bare minimum and you look like somebody can stop you up with a biscuit.
With a
Anybody,
biscuit, honey.
and anybody else, if that's all you did with them, you would say they still looked at cruddy.
Yes.
I
I mean,
was like, oh Jesus, let me go get him up.
even yesterday when the show ended, the way he was looking up at Sheila when he said that he's got to go now, the last shot, I was like looking at his face. I'm just like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with this face that I can see. With the 5 o'clock shadow and all.
What?
Messy hair and all.
What?
Nothing wrong.
What?
I don't see nothing wrong.
Scruffy.
Yeah.
Scruffy. I call that look scruffy yummy when they have certain soap males looking like that. Anybody else should be like, bro, why are you out here looking toe down? Not him.
I ain't even mad because I like a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow. I ain't mad. But girl, oh my gosh, you guys, he was talking to Sheila, hitting her with them questions, 50 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
He was blowing her up like an AK. So you did all this? Okay, so how you got me out the morgue? Okay, how you got me here?
What you was feeding me? How you knew how many calories? I'm a doctor. I know this.
What got me was when he said you haven't been a nurse for years.
Oh, Lord. Baby, look, the tag has been crying since this mess started. Like
that's what I was gonna say. He called her ass out. Hold on. You don't know what to take. You don't know how much calcium I need, how many calories I need. You don't know none of that. I was like, go ahead, MD.
As soon as he said
that's
that,
right. I
as
agree.
soon
It's
as
big
he
dick
said that, he looked at Sheila. Sheila looked at him like, "What did you just say?"
But did y'all also notice how he changed his verbiage with her because he wasn't getting anywhere with her asking about his mother. But he started, he said, where my mama? Where my mom? Where's my mom? Then he started a little bit further because Sheila was batshit crazy. I'm your mother. And he was like, okay then, bitch, where my mama at? How about that?
When you get through.
What got me was she gonna lay down at the end of the bed looking at him, thinking about Lee. I'm just like, oh no, what's she gonna ready to do now?
I was like, see, that's what your ass get for being not just for being a murderer, but also for trying to take credit for work you ain't did.
You talking about her falling at the bed?
Yeah, at the end,
begging for his mercy.
Because she know he not letting this go. Why would he? He knows his mother was involved, and he also knows my mama ain't up in here, and there ain't no way in hell my mama would have left me alone with this crazy bitch. What you did to my mama?
I think he already knows that Lee is the one who actually got him out. In his head, he knows this. He just wants Sheila to tell him because I swear when he said calories, I was sitting there trying to decide what I was going to eat tomorrow. And he said, how you know how many calories I need? I was like, damn, that's a question I ask myself every day. And this psycho sitting here, well, I just did it. I just knew. I ain't got to show you my work. This ain't long division. 2 + 2 is 4. Okay?
I just saved your life, all right? Give me my credit and stop asking me questions.
The only credit she gets is for saving him the second time by shocking that man back to life.
Exactly.
That's what she should have led with. She should have just walked over there and got the paddles.
Exactly, but that's the thing. She's sitting up here trying to take credit for what she didn't do, and then put two. But and the thing is, here's the thing. You know what she effed up? That damn death certificate.
Yep.
Once she flashed that death certificate at him, that made 1,000 questions pop in his head. Not just my family think I'm dead. You telling me I'm legally dead? Right. How the hell you got a hold of me if I'm legally dead, woman? See, she did that to herself.
He's like,
you done stole me from the morgue.
She should have just said.
Who signed on?
She should have just said, I want to go visit you. They said you was dead. I zipped you back up in the bag, got some more help from Mike, and then we zoomed you over here. That could have saved her.
Exactly.
I broke out of jail and I came and got Mike and a box truck. And we just went down there when they closed the morgue. You know, the people go home at the end of the day. So We waited till like 2:00 in the morning, and then we just went in there and got you. That's what we did. See, she didn't think it through, just like we didn't think them ashes through.
Mhm.
Not a box truck.
Ah, Lady Sanchez said Ricky J said yesterday that Phil was giving off big dick energy. I agree.
All day long he was, yeah, and he was.
And today. But he,
Hold
he
on,
always
he
had
did
big
it
dick
off
energy
since
to
he
me.
got back on Monday.
What?
He been giving off BDE since Monday.
Yes.
He been giving off
Yeah.
BPD since day one.
This is eyes. He really has. He has nicknamed.
So he really has. And
Child,
you're right. Bubbles, you're right. She didn't think none of this through. None of it.
she ain't think that.
She never
Everybody
does.
goes together. If you gonna sit here and try to con people, you gotta run the puke.
She didn't think that fall through either.
Sigmund Pro, you know what I mean when I say you gotta run the puke. You gotta know your lie, front, back, sideways, upside down, left side, right side, all the way around. You gotta be infallible with that lie. Your lie gotta have backstory. So when somebody asks you, well, how you get me out the morgue, you don't hesitate. You say, well, we waited until everybody went home. And then I had somebody to call up there for the last person who was there to go look for something somewhere that didn't exist. Once we got the morgue cleared out and we were sure that nobody else was coming back down, we just simply put your body on one of those gurneys, rode you right out into the back of this truck, and nobody even ever saw you, and then we were gone. That's how we got you out of the morgue. How did I feed you? Well, son, you had a feeding tube, but we took it out once you woke up. So that's how you was getting fed. And I just got some bags of some what they give the old people. What is that stuff? Ensure. We was just putting some Ensure in the tube. I know how tall you are. We know how much you weighed. So I just put them numbers in one of them calculators that you find on the internet that tells you how many calories you need just to simply stay alive. You know, your base.
I think the average daily balance is 2,000.
Well, no, that's what they tell you. That's a generalization based on that damn food chart that they created back in the 40s. But
Which was terribly incorrect because nobody needed 12 grains a day, but that's another story.
We're going to talk about that when we get to Monaco, because I'm going to eat like y'all ain't never seen nobody eat, and you're going to be like, how is she doing that? Because, but yeah, all she had to do was put in his age and how tall he is and how much she thinks he weighs, and it'll calculate out how many calories he's supposed to have to maintain that same weight, and you don't want him gaining weight, so we just went and calculated that and gave you some Ensure, and da-da! Look, you're alive.
Here we are. You're alive. You're well. Stop asking me all these questions. Go back.
But Bubble, did y'all see Sheila's face when he fell?
She was devastated.
I'm like, wait, what the heck?
I was like, Lord, he on the floor. Oh no, get him up.
Yes, child.
Yeah.
When he hit his head, I was like, oh hell, what's gonna happen now? I literally was like, they finna throw a twist on us. So I'm glad that, you know.
Not only that, in my head, I was thinking, Sheila, if you were still a nurse, this would be a write-up, Heifer.
Listen,
Right. She done dropped the whole damn patient.
the one that got me. When Finn got up out that bed, he was standing up, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're standing! How are you standing up? You're on your feet. How are you doing this? How do you have the strength to do this?" And he said, "Steffi."
She should have got the hell out the way then.
Yes.
He about his good Steffi.
He needs Steffi. He needs to get to Steffi. He needs to see his family. That is it.
As soon as he fell, I was just like, wait a minute, don't he got stitches put in?
And
some stitches didn't pop.
Well, you know, that is true, but you know, we're not getting really the time. It's so it's been since April 1st, so it's been a while. Our time is slower their time, but they're still saying months. So let's say it's been 3 months.
Well, it really hasn't, but okay.
It hasn't. Because their time is much slower than ours. In my opinion, they may have changed clothing 6 or 7 times. Since
we were keeping up. We were keeping up with it pretty well. I forgot where we lost.
Yeah, we lost. You know what? We stopped counting once we actually got to see Finn in that bed. That's when I think that's around the time we actually stopped counting. Once we had Lee show up and us actually seeing Finn in the bed, I think we kind of just lost our minds a little bit and said, he alive. We knew he was alive, and stopped counting. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
You're right.
Yeah,
we were on that. We were counting outfits.
Yeah.
But
it's really been 3 weeks.
Probably about
pretty
that.
much. I mean, it's like they haven't changed clothes that many times, but it's been since April. What is it? May, June, July. Yeah, it's almost August. It's been almost 4 months now. I mean,
he in that room with a psychopathic, logical, crazy woman, and now he got to play crazy with her.
Not to mention, his internal dialogue is hilarious. Like, you're a psycho. You're
crazy bitch.
He was playing Michael.
He
was playing Michael like a fiddle, and Michael just like, well, I do like your mother, so I'm not probably going to help you out just yet.
Child, when Brooke asked Mike, don't you, Mike, isn't there anyone that you love? Girl, that ain't the question you want to ask, because he flat out protecting the one that he loves. So your little interrogate, trying to use his heart.
Rich is over there just like.
Richard Michael Guthrie is being true to his heart right now. He is following his heart right now.
He was like, because he walked in.
Like, who the hell cares? He basically told
He was just walking in and he was like, wait, what's going on here? All you heard was Chief Baker talking about some sit down. Mike was just like, what the heck? Why y'all here? And then Brooke sitting over there grinning, like, girls.
And they gonna let Mike use that interrogation room and go and tip off Sheila.
I'm trying to figure out, after that interrogation and after the fact that it's already known that he's a person of interest, how they don't have nobody telling him? That's what I want to know.
Well, he's still in that room. What they gonna tell him?
When they gonna take his gun and his badge?
Well, when they get through talking to him, I guess. Oh no, because they sent him back to work. They didn't. He's still in there talking to them. They ain't sent him back to work yet.
Is he still in there?
Yeah, girl, they still in there talking to him.
I wasn't really paying attention to any of that dialogue.
Because when Ridge asked him where is she, he was just looking like, I don't know.
I did hear that he called somebody. He called Sheila a bitch.
Mike was just looking like bitch, and then Mike was just looking like this man is crazy.
Damn, my face fell on the floor. I said, "Damn, Ridge, you hate us."
The real person, he should have been calling that the one next to him.
I was like, Ridge, if you think this is gonna get the man the cop, I hate to tell you, it ain't. And then when Brooke bust up with her, do you have someone you love, Mike? I want to say, this is not the time to try to empathize, try to get his empathy, Brooke. The person, he gonna protect the person he loves by keeping his damn mouth shut.
Then Chief Baker talk about some. Chief Baker talk about some. If we find out you was aiding and abetting her, you'll go to jail too. Michael just sitting there looking like, I don't care. Man, she's been doing this for years.
You gotta look at this from a logistical point of view. First of all, one, he loves Sheila. Crazy and as she is, he honest to goodness loves him some Sheila. So he's not trying to throw her under the bus. And two, all this talk about some damn leniency, in his head he thinking, yeah, until y'all find out that Finn alive and that Sheila killed his mama after she escaped, then I'm going down for that too. I need to keep my damn mouth shut.
Yeah. Mike is loyal to the soil. He is not going to drop any dimes on Sheila. They're going to have to follow him for real if they want anything out of him. And I think once he gets back to wherever it is they hold up at, he's going to let Finn go. And he's going to have to take Sheila and run away with her because they have to be following him after this. Like they have to. It does not make sense for them to let this man go work his whole full damn shift, clock out, drive home to wherever he's going, and not follow to see if he really is not meeting Sheila somewhere. Like, I'm surprised they're not having Deacon follow too, because even Hope was like, well, y'all was friends and shit, so I don't even know if you would be trying to, do her a favor and keep her hidden, even though you were the one who found the people shot in the alley. And it really wouldn't make any sense for you to keep her whereabouts a secret unless she threatened you. They never put that part in. That was for me because that was
Brooke sitting over there talking about something. You used to be friends with Sheila back in the day. Mike just sitting there looking like, can I go to work now? I'm ready to go.
Mike was funny. He was like, yeah, we knew each other, but it wasn't really like that. And everybody, and of course, all of us going, yeah, bro, it was like that. She almost let a dog eat you. It was exactly like that.
right.
Come on, now.
But and plus, Mike said everybody knew Sheila, so he was like, "Well, hell, I knew her. Everybody knew Sheila. At least
Well,
knew
she
of her."
she was
She was the
Victorious.
CEO's wife. She was Mrs. Forrester. Of course, everybody knew Sheila. He's not right. Mike is the only one that's got his shit together with a backstory. Do y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
I knew Sheila. She was Sheila Forrester, married to Eric Forrester, the owner of the company. Yeah,
I worked for Forrester. How would I not know her?
right. I was the security guard. I would
That's
know her. She was the family.
And they saying, and Brooke saying, that's not how I remember it. It's like, well, Brooke, you would have to provide some information to the authorities to make them believe that it was somehow deeper than what you said. Because on paper,
Right.
Mike never got popped for nothing.
Evidence,
Right.
exactly. Richard Michael Guthrie
kept his hands clean the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, child. And did y'all notice how Deacon was talking about Sheila today?
Child.
I
He
did,
was talking like Hope and Brooke.
Well, no, he was talking like
Like he
Sheila
had
was a temptress.
That's what I said. I'm glad you caught that because he was like, you know, what did he say? I tweeted about it because I was
Sheila does have a charm
Appeal.
about her. She has a way
charm about her.
Right. She has.
She comes
a way.
across as vulnerable and like people don't understand
and
her.
you just want to help her. You know, I did.
You just want to help her. I did, and I'm like, hold on. She's vulnerable, and she just makes you want to help her until she stabs you in the back.
But he did though. But
he shoots you or somebody else. Yeah.
He was telling the truth. I mean, him and Sheila were so-called friends. He brought her a Christmas gift, and when Finn was killed and he was the town crier and told everybody, he went to tell Sheila, and he laid there and he held Sheila as she cried for her son.
Yes.
So when Deacon says that she has a way and an appeal about her, he was telling the truth that you cannot underestimate her. I'm a con man, and I'm a hardened con man, and she got me to trust her. He's just keeping it real.
Yeah, he being honest because that is the truth. Even with everything that went down with Sheila in the years gone by, Sheila was still able to stay on the peripheries. Granted, it was the peripheries of Steffi's family and not be completely and totally expelled out 100% because she has that way about her.
She always had someone that she could convince to convince others to crack the door. Right. Sheila has always, and I hate the fact that they do not play up Sheila's sexuality, because Sheila was always attractive and always able to garner the attention of the men that she wanted to get attention from.
Yes, she was.
Sheila was and still is. I think she's still gorgeous.
I think so too. And I think that she's still in absolutely great shape. And all they have to do is play into it already. Kimberly, I think, was a pageant girl, right?
And a model. She was a model for sure.
Exactly.
Because, and she's modeling now. So, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's always had an appeal. That's why 30 years later, we still team Sheila.
Right.
See, it's just that this time they didn't bring her back with that type of focus. They just forced all of her focus on her child, on Finn. But in the previous years, on her previous days, her focus always had to do with a man who she wanted to get. For years, it was Eric. For a while, it was James Warwick. So whenever Sheila was like, whenever Sheila used to make up her mind about a man, she got that.
That's right. Man. She damn sure did. Facts. So and that's how come I was always insulted about her hitting on Deacon one way. I was like, that's out of character. This ain't even Sheila. I mean, Sheila, first of all, wouldn't even entice him sexually. She would use him because she could manipulate him and use him. But
You
Deacon is too low for her to actually want to sleep with. She always had standards about the men that she wanted to bed.
Doctors
And
and men
Titans
of
of Industries,
yes,
world renowned designers, world renowned psychiatrists,
yes.
not ex-cons. But I
She's always
digress.
been no, she's not. No, you're right. Sheila has always had a taste for professional men,
Mm-hmm.
She's
but
always had a
also
taste for the finer things, and she was always able to get it.
not only that though, but the other thing about Sheila is this: Sheila enjoys the chase and the kill. Sheila is not a woman who has ever really been a woman who's ever been attracted to a man who chases after her like a puppy dog. That's
Correct.
why Mike. That's why
Correct.
Mike ain't been able to hit this target yet. That
Right.
ain't never been her thing ever. Every man Sheila has wanted, it has always been a man who was either wanted by somebody else or otherwise not available to her, and she always enjoyed the chase.
It was never a man that nobody wanted.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no.
How old is Sheila still doing the same thing she doing for Giz? How old is she now?
Yeah, but this time around, they just did not want to give us any type of soft Sheila. Just like you said, I mean, even last time when she was getting portraits made of herself and
Well,
fighting Quinn to the damn near death, I mean, she still wore lipstick and makeup and still had Eric eating out the palm of her damn hands. But they didn't give in at this point at all, except for Taylor. And maybe that's why I'm such a Shayla fan.
well, the thing is with Eric, they had to kind of let that one go after what went down last time,
Well,
especially
we have
since
no that they painted that in the corner. That's what they
yeah,
did.
they
But
after
there's
how they
been
messed
no
that up.
one that's been 100% on Sheila's side this time around, or even giving somebody enough leeway to get her at least ingratiated. Now, the last few scenes she had with Finn, where Finn had her over to the office and said, Steffi's not there yet, but you got to lay low and stuff. He was letting her
Yeah,
know that he's still trying to get her in.
he was
I was so
trying.
hopeful. Yep.
He was trying. And but of course, now that but and that's the thing. That's the thing. All Sheila had to do. Sheila's problem is this. Every time things go sideways for her in these scenarios, it's because she always takes that step too far. This foolishness with Brooke and the damn wine was a step too far because she wanted some petty vengeance. Because let's be honest, Brooke has no say so or control over who come and go from Steffi damn house. So her having an opinion about Sheila or any of that wasn't gonna play no part in that. But she just couldn't tolerate Brooke talking to her like that because Brooke like good because let's be honest, Brooke be trash mouth when she hate a person. And she wanted to get even for it. And
Brooke
so
tucked out of the side of her neck and she couldn't handle it.
exactly. So she went ahead, got even with Brooke, which I'm not gonna lie, I understand the impulse. So I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't understand why she wanted to shut Brooke's mouth and do something to her. But the problem was the after effects of that were that it put her in a permanently bad position of being discovered and trashing any chance that she had of being included in Finn's life long term. And it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't. It really, I mean, because think about it. If Sheila had not done the stupidity that she did, namely the stupidity that they wrote, let's be honest, Sheila would still be on the outside looking in, but she'd still have allies. She'd still have a chance with Finn. Now she's got nothing. Nothing but keeping him chained to the bed like a prisoner.
Well, Sheila could have just shot at the door like she did Quinn.
She could have. But the problem is, once she did that stupidity with Brooke, and then Thomas found out, then Steffi found out, then she told Finn, then she felt she had to get rid of Steffi because she knew, and all of this other stuff, and it was it was a downhill slope.
Because
And
Steffi
Brooke,
wasn't
It
going
really
along with
wasn't
that
though.
plan.
I mean, the dumbest thing about all of that was that nobody had absolutely no proof of what Sheila had done, and she walked into Steffi's Cliff House and told Thomas. So I don't even
exactly,
like to
that
talk
made
about
no
the whole story.
because it
I
didn't
really
make no
don't. I
sense.
hate the whole.
It didn't.
I despise even talking about it because it was just asinine from the beginning because it had no stakes because it was over a kiss and ain't nobody have sex, to the fact that Sheila just gave her own self away. There was absolutely no drama in even her being discovered. Not even the same old somebody overhearing through the door that they love to do. No, she just told Thomas.
Because
So Steffi could overhear Thomas telling Sheila that she was bad for doing that.
And here's the thing,
it was all garbage to me.
And it's a misguided attempt to make Thomas feel like he was indebted to her for putting the end to Bridge. I'm like, honey, this is not the hill you want to die on.
At some point, they was going to try to link Thomas to the reason why Brooke drunk and kissed Deacon that night. If they kept digging at it. You know what I'm saying? It's always all sacrificial lamb roads lead to Thomas.
They just couldn't come up. They just couldn't write a decent enough plot for Sheila to get caught. They just didn't have the talent, or they didn't have the staff. It was one of the damn other, because it was lame as fuck. You can't tell me that the villain walks into a cliff house and just tells
every damn thing.
I'm gonna go on pause because I get very angry about stuff like that.
Yeah, that shit is retarded.
Because it takes away the drama from the show. Like we would expect anything better than a confession to somebody that ain't even really got nothing to do with it.
Sure don't. But
I mean, really,
my guess
didn't have nothing to do with it, because listen, when Sheila spiked those drinks, Taylor wasn't even in town.
No, she wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Stupid. Just dumb.
Taylor was in town. Taylor wasn't. She was
No.
Yeah, she spiked it on New Year's night, and Taylor spent New Year's Eve with the kids.
You're right.
So she was.
It was New Year's night.
Yeah. Right. So, but it didn't. No, but the whole thing didn't make any sense, because I strongly suspect that the sharp turn that the show took, it happened after that, because one, Brooke was never really supposed to be integrated into this plot the way that she was anyway. Everybody kind of felt like that was a crazy add-on that came out of left field that didn't make sense, because it was.
Yeah, it was. And then Steffi just said out of her mouth right before she get killed, like, come on, try to get killed. Like, that's ridiculous. I was just like, okay, who wrote that?
Yeah, I think that it played out exactly the way they wanted to.
It was clunky, it was strange, and it didn't make a whole lot of sense. Granted, it did get us to, the stellar story that we're getting now that's much, much better. It's just that it was a rough beginning to get here. And it basically meant that, because the thing is, we all knew from the second Sheila showed her face last year as Finn's mother, we all knew for certainty that this story was going to end with her, or this story was going to take a left turn when, if she wasn't accepted by Finn, she would try to get rid of Steffi because she was in the way. That was always going to happen from the start. It was just a matter of how, because that is what Sheila does. When Sheila wants something and she chases after it, the person who is in her way, because once she classifies them as such a hindrance that they got to go, she is going to try to get rid of them. I just never thought that the spark of what would lead to her trying to get rid of Steffi would be some crap that was affiliated with Brooke, because that made no sense to me.
Yeah, but that was a vanity storyline. It was just a vanity storyline, in my opinion, to end up at the 35th anniversary. That's why it didn't make sense to us, because it really wasn't supposed to make sense story-wise. It was just a vanity storyline for the 35th anniversary.
And if that's the case, then they should have never made it Brooke that got shot. Why wasn't it Hope? If they was trying, Steffi got shot.
Because Steffi is the draw.
So they replaying what happened with Taylor and Brooke at the house when Sheila shot them. If that was the case, then why Brooke instead of Hope? Steffi got shot, and then Finn gets shot. Okay, if you want to shoot somebody else, then why not it be Hope? That's the new Brooke.
But that's
I don't
the
understand
thing.
Anything.
I understand what Can saying. Can feels like what they were going for was a semi-recreation of the scene where Sheila shot Brooke and Taylor, with Taylor being the one who died. The problem is that the whole reason Sheila was at Brooke's house back then was because of Brooke's interference in what
Okay,
she was
maybe
trying
that's
to
why I
do.
didn't get it because I don't see if that has
Right.
anything to do with
But the
Stephanie
thing
and
is,
Finn being gunned
but
down in the alley.
but that's the thing. What she's saying is that why if they were gonna do basically a send up of what already happened, why didn't they follow it the same way? Mainly because one, up until as far as I can see, Hope ain't really had much to do with Sheila since she got here. They ain't even had a scene together,
One
unless you
scene
count
at
what
Il
was that.
Giardino.
Yeah, that was about it. And maybe unless you count the scenes after the shooting at the hospital when they were both there, but they really didn't have Hope interacting with Sheila in a way where Hope would have made herself a nuisance or a problem. Because that's what murder is about for Sheila. It's about removing somebody who is a problem and who is standing in her way. And on its face, that's why she shot Steffi, and that's why she decided to switch the labels for Brooke, even though it was a weak ass excuse. Like Sheila mouthed off to her in Il Giardino. She could have just told her trick bye and just gone on about her business, but whatever.
So you're thinking that this was supposed to be some sort of recreation of
Kind of. A
Sheila
half-assed one.
accidentally
Yeah, I'm
shooting
A
Taylor with
satisfied that it
Finn
was.
to accidentally shooting Finn. But then after that, instead of somebody knocking her down and knock her out and she go to jail, she goes ahead and shoots Steffi and gets away.
right. Kind of like a
I don't see.
half-assed
I just yeah.
recreation. Like I said, half-assed. A half-assed recreation. Because more or less, the framing is almost the same. Because here's the thing: Taylor was never supposed to take a bullet that day when she died back then. She was not supposed to be involved in that.
Right.
Period.
And that's like her Steffi taking another bullet for Brooke. That's what I'm saying. It's not that hard. It's like y'all redoing the same shit, then keep it going along with the current day.
Well, that's the thing. They switched the characters' places. Brooke in the old days, Brooke was the intended victim and Taylor was the collateral damage. This time, Steffi was the intended victim and Finn is the collateral damage. So it's the same setup. They just changed who was doing what.
Yeah.
Though, like I said, we can all agree that the great bottle switch of 2022 will go down in history as one of the asinine
It's a
thoughts
damn flop.
of a
It's
good
such a
story.
flop that it enrages me just to talk about it because it was never based on any logic.
Right. The end result of it was this is the masterpiece is the masterful work that we're getting now. So I'm trying to make peace with it because unfortunately, without the bullshit that was the 3 month bottle gate switch of us having to listen to why did I drink? Why did I drink? Right, enough to make me damn delirious.
Four
Why did
months
I do that?
4 months of hell. Don't
Exactly.
yeah.
Without that, the unpretty truth is, without that stupidity, we would not have been able to get to where we are now. So it's kind of like I'm glad that things played out how they played out in the alley because that was drama. She shot Finn. She shot Steffi. That was 100% so the drama, and I was here for it because, well, we hadn't got nothing that shocking and who knows how many years on this
Yeah.
damn show.
Yeah.
I just was not a fan of how we got there because I thought it was poorly,
Yeah.
It was really trash. But that visual of Steffi and Finn laying in that alley on those trash beds, trash bags, bleeding with gunshot wounds is something that I have never seen on Bold and the Beautiful. So I just automatically just like there's nothing in the past that has happened like that.
right.
Yeah, did y'all peep? They didn't even ever show Steffi getting shot. You just
They
heard the
cut
gunshot.
away.
Yeah, they cut it off, and I'm like, boy, they knew they couldn't show that.
Well, because
Probably.
they had already completely eviscerated us by shooting poor Finn and letting
Man,
us think he
right?
was dead. And then you up here, you heard me. I was like, what kind of Bruce Wayne origin story? What kind of Batman origin story you trying to get for Finn? Are we gonna get a fast forward 20 years to Finn being some damn Bruce Wayne character because his parents then died in the alley behind an Italian restaurant?
You're talking about Hayes.
Exactly. Yeah,
You're
Hayes.
so crazy,
I was like,
child. That's funny.
Well, I'm
You know,
sorry.
Some people actually still, I ain't gonna mention names, but they still talking about that Taylor is still dreaming all of this crap.
who?
I think that ship has sailed. Okay, when
I think it's long gone. It's in the middle of the
yeah,
Antarctic.
with
Yeah,
with,
I,
with all of
I
this,
don't know why they still putting that out there like that is some hot
when
news off the
what
press.
well, you know, when Finn first got shot, we were all in disbelief because the thing is, Bo don't normally get rid of characters like that. That's just not them. We haven't had a character die so shockingly since Allie. And that was out of left field. Nobody went into Allie's downward mental spiral thinking that her confrontation with Steffi was going to end up with her as a dead woman. Because one, everybody was like, well, one, she's a Forrester. Two, she's
Right.
Thorne's only kid. Why would they kill her? They sure enough did though.
Sure
So
did.
yeah, so nobody was really thinking, this is really gonna be a death. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The tag was all over the place with theories about what the hell this was somebody dreaming, this can't be reality because Bo just does not do this kind of thing these days. So but yeah, I'm pretty sure the dream theory has seen its heyday and it has seen its sunset because Finn is alive, nobody's dreaming this. So yeah, he's alive. It's confirmed he's alive. So yeah, that also I
We
would
got
not.
somebody new on YouTube.
Oh, we do. Let's see. Let me pop over and take a look. SB Writer.
Hi,
Oh,
Natalie.
Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Welcome aboard.
Yes.
And let's see. SB Writer said, "I truly believe Belle's on a mission to ruin the Thomas character." See, that's the thing. I'm trying to be. I don't want to say the word optimistic, but I'm trying to be not quite as pessimistic when it comes to Thomas. Here's why. Because this show, since the recast of Thomas, has never missed a chance to run over him with a bus and back up over his ass. They never miss a chance.
Yeah.
Never. Except this last time. Now, one of our biggest complaints about this show is that they gloss over crap that really shouldn't be glossed over. Case in point, that whole mess with Douglas. That still leave a bad
To
taste
be
in my mouth.
continued.
Exactly. But we can tell from the way that the show was addressing the whole secret keeping about the whole New Year's Eve thing and Brooke kissing Santa Claus and all that mess that they were going to gloss over it and not make issue of the fact that Douglas was manipulated to the end of keeping Brooke's secret. It pissed a lot of people off, myself included, and most of the people in this chat too. Because it was like, how is that not a part of the conversation?
Right. How is it just ignored like it didn't happen?
Exactly. Because Bo will ignore stuff that they think just isn't a major issue. They just consider it like plot, I guess, and that it's not something that actually was a part of what they construed the story to be. So it doesn't require being addressed by the people on screen, which makes no sense to me, but you know what, whatever. However, what I did not anticipate and what I was very surprised by was that they actually treated this business with Sheila and Thomas the exact same way. It's a non-issue. And when has this show ever missed a chance
Not really.
to make
Not
Thomas
really.
a damn villain?
Not
I
really.
remember
There wasn't a
Ridge.
issue with Thomas. No,
Yeah,
because with
Ridge.
Hope and Brooke and Liam keeping the bottle gate and the kissing a secret for months, from New Year's Eve up until it was found out, has been made an issue by nobody on screen. When you say
No.
it hasn't been treated, but with Thomas, Ridge yelled at him, Taylor scolded him. Steffi said, "Yeah, I wish you had told," but not one
Got out of
person
hell out.
has said
No.
one
You're not.
thing
No,
on
you
screen.
listen. You're missing what I said. It's not an issue in the sense that, remember what I said when I said bold don't make an issue of stuff because they feel it doesn't need to be addressed and there are no consequences. There are no consequences to Thomas knowing Sheila's secret. That was an in-house family matter that Tridge handled themselves, and it stayed like that. That's what I mean.
I'm just saying, consequences be damned.
But
On screen, people, One character can do one thing in the characters on screen react to it story wise like it's a mortal sin, but the other characters on the same in the same city in the same circle can do the same thing, and nobody takes issue with it among the circle in on screen. It's
Can I say
consequences be
something?
damned. I don't care if they get away with it or not.
Go
If it's
ahead,
not
Tom.
addressed as even being a problem, how they always gonna get away with it. If it's not even looked at by somebody. Look at this. Donna was congratulated by everybody for cheating on Eric. For cheating with the married man on screen. Nobody took issue with it. There was no problem. So of course there's not going to be a consequence.
It's only a problem when somebody else does it.
Of course. But my point with Thomas is this. I'm not talking about just the characters on screen. I'm talking about the show. Every time Thomas has done anything that could be construed as wrong or unethical or problematic or something, or just something for him to take the damn blame for, even if it really wasn't his fault, even if he wasn't really that involved, no matter what it is, Thomas has always been made to pay a price, no matter how fair or unfair it was, for whatever the hell it was he did. Because they blow everything up that Thomas touches completely out of proportion to make him look like a semi-villain.
I'm literally about to bust. Like, can I please stop?
Go ahead.
Thomas shouldn't have been scolded as much then. They haven't even addressed it as like it was a problem between any of those three. Them the only three that knew about it, right? Just like those were the only three that knew about what happened with Thomas. So among those three, they didn't even blink an eye in reference to what they did with Douglas, because between them three, what they agreed was fine for Douglas to go in and be manipulated by his grandduke grandmother. So I'm gonna need that same energy. Now, don't be coming for Thomas and making him feel guilty, especially he didn't ask for it. He wasn't participating in nothing. She told him the same stuff that they did with Douglas. They knew about it. They assisted in it. They assisted Brooke in hiding the secret. They assisted in allowing Brooke to talk to a 7-year-old child into lying and feeling bad about him, keep asking questions. Thomas was holding somebody else's secret. Please, come on. Please, that is not the same thing. They sat up there and still ridiculed him for not telling them three. So I didn't want none of that. I need them to just leave him alone.
Okay,
I think that's the bottom line of it. Is that a lot of viewers are just sick of Thomas being.
But that's what I mean. Y'all are completely missing my point. One, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with Tridge telling him something. I don't have a problem with his parents getting on him about that, because they're his parents. They're actually the people who give a shit about him. Those are the people who should get on your grill if they think you was out of line about something. The people who give a damn. I have no taste for Brooke or Hope or Liam or Bill or any of these other assholes to get in Thomas' grill. Why? Because they don't give a flying damn about Thomas. They just want to villainize him and treat him like crap and make him the one who's the problem in all these situations. But I don't have a problem with Tridge telling him, because that's his parents, that's his actual family, and they actually love him. So them telling Thomas that he should have absolutely told them what the hell he found out when he found it out, I did not have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is people like Brooke and the Logans and Bill villainizing Thomas for some bullshit when that's all it's about, trying to make him into the bad guy. So no, I do not have a problem with Tridge coming for him. And what I approve of is it staying where it needed to stay, in Thomas's immediate family with the people who care about him. That's how it should have been handled.
And I will add to that at the same time, why can't on screen anyone have said anything to Thomas and scolded them, whether it's in-house or out-house?
Say that again, Sam. I don't get you.
So at the same time, you don't mind that Thomas was scolded by his parents because they care and they kept it in house, right?
Yes.
So now I'll add to that. I do not like and I do not appreciate that on canvas, on screen in the story, that 3 people that lied for months,
Oh, you mean Brooke and them?
manipulated Douglas for months, have not had one cross word said to them on screen about what they've done. Okay, great. You don't mind that Thomas is taking his lumps. Fine. I don't either.
No.
That's not been my issue.
Sam, I'm not in disagreement about that. I started this conversation saying that we normally see bullshit get passed over that needs to be addressed, namely the entire fiasco with Douglas. I'm not saying it's fine that it didn't get addressed. Quite the opposite. It should have been addressed, and it didn't because Belle likes to let the Logans, specifically Brooke, get away with any damn thing.
And so that's what Can was saying. She gonna need them to pull back on they talking shit and down to Thomas because others not getting shit talked to them. That's what Can was saying.
Okay, I can agree with that. But I will take it back to the original point that I said, which was this is the first time in history that since the recast that Thomas was involved, even if tacitly, in something that would have had him reflected as a villain. Because as you can see, being in touch with anything related to Sheila makes you into toxic waste in this town. Okay, that's pretty obvious. Doubly so after she done shot 2 people and supposedly killed 1. So the fact that the show did not take this opportunity to publicize and have a public hanging for Thomas for him knowing what the hell happened with Sheila because she opened her fat mouth and told him and not telling people I take that as a sign in a positive direction of them not wanting to villainize Thomas for every little thing that happened. And maybe that means they might actually write something for him that's worth a damn. That was my point.
I can see why you would think that and be hopeful. I hope as well.
I don't want to say hopeful. I'm just less I'm not optimistic. I'm just less pessimistic because supposedly we're supposed to get something for him. I hope that pans out because I'm tired of Thomas not having a damn thing to do, just like I'm tired of Bill not having a damn thing to do.
Exactly. And I think that more and more folks are just really pissed about it. I mean, literally, it's become a sore spot. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I am damn tired. I mean, J. Matt Atkinson is a fantastic actor. He's handsome. He's sexy. I mean, god damn. What does it take for us to get him on screen and actually doing something about him? He has not had a story about him in his life. Well, I guess the whole he was leading those stories, but I mean, again, it really wasn't about him.
No,
I would just like to get some development out of Thomas. Well, I need something to be about Thomas. It's been since he's been cast since 2019. His whole identity is hope. It's ridiculous. It's tiresome.
I'm trying to be, like I said, a less pessimistic since they've made it a point to kind of distance his character from her for the most part. So I'm hoping that is a move in the right direction. Because really, him and Hope don't really need to have nothing to do with each other. Talking about, unless it's about Douglas, which in and of itself is enough of a problem. But
that's a whole other problem.
Yeah, that's a whole different problem. But since the show does not seem to take issue with it, and they don't seem to have the appetite to change that, if it's not about Douglas, they really don't have nothing to say to each other. And I would prefer if they kept it that way. Just because I'm tired of Thomas being a backstop to throw in between Lope whenever they want some drama for something. Give them some other drama to deal with and give Thomas his own story.
They ain't gonna give Thomas nothing but a mannequin in his hand.
Girl, look. After plastic, look, I think he didn't earn the story after that plastic dog shit.
They ain't gonna give our Thomas nothing but a mannequin in his hand. He's already had the mannequin, and now the only
because right, and I believe that Bubbles, you probably right, because the thing about it is that for some reason, I think the powers that be just don't think that fans don't care about Thomas.
Because why would he be without a woman for this long? Like,
why would he be without a life for this long? This man lost his baby mama, his son. He doesn't have a home. He works for his damn little sister practically. Well, he definitely works for his little sister. He works under Steffi. But even more insult to that, he works under Hope.
Yes.
This is Thomas H. Forrester, his Forrester's son, the designer. So no.
Honestly, Thomas should have his own line by now.
Yeah, there's just they have not given this character anything of his own for us to actually root our teeth into and root for. If we purely rooted for Thomas off of history,
they take it away. Ridge take it away because he fucking jealous. So
I was just about to say, every time
he did play that is how they played it with the old Thomas. That is exactly the vibe that they played between Ridge and
every time he pushed out one of his good ass designs for Hope fucking Flop the Future, I'm gonna need y'all to know he can't keep getting better and better and better. He is better than Ridge, and he just hates to admit it. That's it. And that's the thing. That's the difference between him and Eric. Eric was happy. Eric was proud that Ridge was getting better than him. And he elevated his talent. He pushed him out there. Ridge don't do that. Ridge too goddamn insecure and he's too jealous of his own children.
But it seems like they have set up Thomas to fail from the beginning.
But that's how the Thomas character has been set up from the beginning. If we go all the way back to when Thomas was first getting interested in designing, they didn't believe in him. They didn't really want to give him a chance. He ended up going to Spectra.
Yep.
Then his first opportunity to show his designs when he really wasn't ready. He was still green back then. They put pressure on him because it was, well, Thomas, if you want to keep your wife, you got to beat your daddy, world-renowned fashion designer Ridge Forrester, at this fashion show. So if your designs are better, and we know you just got out of your Crayolas, you just graduated from crayons to colored pencils, you're going to do your best, baby. We know. But you got to beat your daddy if you want to keep your wife. And then he lost that. And he lost his wife. And then there was another time that was something that was important to Thomas. Well, Thomas, here we go again. You know, you're getting better as a designer, but you got to beat your dad. Once you beat Ridge, you can, you know, we'll let you do whatever you want. And he got beat again. And I think that was that might have been that was before the taboo. The taboo line is the only line they gave Thomas. It was wildly successful. But Ridge hated it because it ran that Thomas and Brooke were having an affair, and that led to them going to that island and eating them damn berries. Ridge is never going to give Thomas footing as a designer in that company because, like Can said, he's jealous, and also he sees Thomas as a threat.
Bingo.
He sees.
How are you going to see your child as a threat? And as a competitor,
she turned Richard into a competition. Her own daughter was competition for her.
Yeah, but that was mostly Brooke. His wife was a hoe. He knew who Brooke was back then, and that's why the whole Barry. That's why Stephanie knew that the Barry storyline, the lie that she made Thomas tell, she knew that shit would float just like a cork in the ocean because Ridge knows his wife is a hoe. That whole taboo storyline, that whole taboo line.
That didn't do all they demons, all they fucking skeletons in the closet didn't do nothing but flushing all out. Right.
Thomas was sneaking around kissing Brooke. Then you know she was asleep on the jet. He kissed her. Oh, Thomas, you know you're not supposed to be kissing me. I'm your daddy's wife. She didn't never really chastise him properly, and she didn't. I don't think she even really ever told Ridge that Thomas was kissing her. But Ridge saw plenty of it because they be in front of the press doing their little thing for taboo, and Thomas would grab Brooke and do one of them dips and kiss her and drive everybody crazy.
Because Brooke was married to all the men in the family, so evidently he was going to be next. So I was like,
And that is why. And that right there is why Ridge is threatened, because he knows every man in the family that hit Brooke except for Thomas.
Right.
And
So that's
she just ain't got
so
to
how
that
was
generation.
Thomas expected that he had a right to kiss and suck on Brooke because every other man in the family had.
Well, he had a crush on
And that's why everybody bought it.
Every chance she get to keep proving to Ridge that is never going to happen. Every chance Brooke get, she vilified Thomas to everybody, Hope in particular. Like, it's disgusting. At this point, just like, mute me.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, the fact that they take pot shots at Thomas for next to nothing. So I don't know. So far, for the first time in a long number of years, the previews that we got from the show have more or less played out in some shape, way, or form. Like case in point, even though of course we weren't anticipating it to play out like this, when they said Bridget would be involved with the story, Bridget actually was involved with the story with her dad and his nasty ass honey problems. And then when they said Deacon was gonna have a story, it looks like Deacon actually is getting a story. So far, for the first time in I don't know how many damn years, the previews have actually played out like they pretty much said. For years, we have gotten nothing but lies in those previews. You'd get 10 different items and only 5 of them would come through and the rest of them were complete fiction. Plus, we also have a feeling Bill is actually going to get a story based on the preview. So it looks like for once, they told the truth about everything, which means if they told the truth about everything, the only spoilers left that are still standing where we have not actually seen action on scene for it are Bill's and Thomas's. Everybody else's previews have either played out or are starting to play out. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they're gonna let this be 100% truthful preview for a change. Oh, okay, Bubbles. She said she switched it to her phone so she could listen while she go drop off her.
You guys do realize that whole spoiler about Thomas getting love interest was before the summer previews, so it's not. It's not. Yeah,
that was in the summer preview.
It was before.
I'm going on Insta to find it. It was in the summer preview.
It was before because that was around the time when they didn't know whether they was gonna how they was gonna do with Finn character. That was before okay.
It was in the same preview, I believe, because that's where they were saying Steffi was gonna get a new love interest at the end. And he was like, bullshit. Right. Why would we want a new love interest?
She just lost her husband. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind with those previews that came out, it was before they actually killed Finn. They were trying to be elusive because obviously they weren't going to put in the previews. Yeah, by the way, we about to kill y'all, man. Sorry.
No, they did put it in the previews.
In the summer previews?
Yes, because Finn was shot on April 1st. That's in spring. In the summer preview, it said Steffi would see light at the end of the tunnel. It talked about her grieving Finn and everything. Liam and Bill would be there for her, and there would be a new romance for Steffi at the end. That was the same spoiler. That was the same preview that said that Bill was going to be at the Bill being at the right place at the right time wasn't even in the preview. That was a spoiler.
Let me see.
That was a spoiler.
Hold on a moment.
Nope, it was in the preview. Bill being at the right place.
That's why I'm like,
right. I remember
the preview. Yeah, I remember all of that actually being in the preview.
That was the same preview, and about Thomas. Now that's what was the question. Was Thomas in that preview? That was the question. Was Thomas in that same preview about somebody coming into his life that's going to make him mature in something stable about Douglas? I think it was the same preview because it was too lengthy for it to be just a spoiler. You know,
okay, hold on. I think I found it. Give me 1 second. Oh wait, I don't think I can do screen share of Bubbles can okay it. So I'll just read it. I went to Sin Rising's page, and yes, it is in the summer preview, and it said Thomas is in an incredibly complex character and is working on getting his act together. Thomas is going to find love this summer, and maybe it's the kind of love that can take him to the next level to be responsible and mature and leave his naughty ways behind him.
Okay, so
That was in that same
the summer preview.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
on. Yeah,
I
that's
stand
on.
corrected because I
Okay.
thought that was a spoiler within. That was before all these spoilers got changed. Because remember, like they was changing, they was issuing out things that didn't happen, and they were changing them around. I thought after a while, everybody just assumed it was because Finn was a part of that, and so they didn't give it away.
No, and Sam was right. Sam was right. The summer previews did come out after they, quote unquote, killed Finn. She was correct. I was wrong about that.
But so we going into July now, and we still. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going into August now, and we've got Thomas and Bill. Now, Bill just was at that wedding. I hope that wasn't it.
Well, no, because nothing really happened. I mean, they say Bill has a story this summer with someone I think is very unexpected. Bill wasn't with anyone at the wedding and is in the right place at the right time. And he's going to take his charm and his power and his good fortune and really make an imprint on this story coming up that we have this summer. So Bill was he was window dressing at the wedding. He was like a non-factor. He was just, part of the crowd. That's right. So he didn't really, we had our theories that maybe he would, kick off something with Grace, who wants to get even about this mess with Paris. But obviously that's not going to happen, because if that was going to happen, the window for that has already passed. So the Lee theory still holds quite a bit of water.
Darling.
So, yes?
Natalie in these comments
Hold on, let me switch over.
Is vicious.
Hold on,
she
let's
is
see.
vicious in these comments.
I think Bill will find Lee. Let's see. My gut is telling me Zoe will be back with Carter. They really should bring Zoe back with a baby for Carter, because as far as I'm concerned, Carter's biological clock ain't stopped ticking just because him and Quinn together. So he needs to be having a baby with somebody.
Keep going.
Let's see. If Steffi, hold on. I see Steffi and Liam get back together because Finn didn't believe Steffi about shit. Nah, Natalie, please.
Keep going.
We can't be going there. Hope will get. Oh no, absolutely. no, Natalie. Natalie,
he's going dragon fire.
Oh no. We do not have this man in this room locked up with his crazy egg donor, screaming that he needs Steffi just for it all to go there. Oh no.
Oh yeah. So coming up though, seriously though, up, I'm not sure if Bill. Maybe Bill will get the story with Lee, but I'm just not seeing any light anywhere for Thomas to get anything again.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like I said, I'm trying to be less pessimistic, because the only three people left on here who have not gotten the story that was mentioned are Liam and Hope, Thomas, and Bill. That's it. Everything else in the previews that they talked about, that has already happened, or it is in the process of happening. So far, they haven't told any lies. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they actually, come through with what they said. Because first of all, lying to fans is already bad enough, but lying in spoilers is even freaking worse.
You guys, I noticed at the Emmys there was, we didn't see it, but there was a clip that somebody posted, and he was talking to this lady on the red carpet. She was interviewing him, and he's like, "You are going to be my next love interest on the show." And he made up a whole character for her on the spot and shit. And I'm like, this man is thirsty for his character to have some kind of something going on. If he's sitting here talking to this lady and then made her up to be one of the Mexico Logans, because she was a Latina. So she was one of the Hispanic Logans from south of the border. He made up a whole on the fly thing about her, and they was laughing and giggling, and she's pretty damn sexy, and she's older than him. So I was like, yeah, I can see Thomas having a cougar
Yeah, Thomas. That's the thing. Thomas looked like he could go rock the MILF part of the country club. I say let him have it.
Well,
Shit,
I always
thank you.
secretly wanted Lee and Thomas to have a May December romance that was grown people business, because he was lonely and because she was lonely and sad after leaving Jack, and they just found their way to each other and fulfilled each other sexually and emotionally. And I wanted it to be grown people business, but I can't have nice things.
I don't think that's the nice thing we really want, though.
Lee and Thomas just banging it out just because they need to. Thomas ain't had shit since he came to town. Well, I
Gonna
take that
break
back.
that lady back.
Thomas had Zoe, but Thomas has not had a woman, and Lee is going through a lot. If she's not going to take Jack back, and plus if she's going to go off running off the bill, why can't she have a carefree fling with Thomas that remains grown people business?
Ooh, girl.
I
Girl,
don't know.
you hurt
So y'all
the
think I'm
elderly like
crazy?
that.
Okay, I always had a little
That
interest
would
in
be
Thomas and
elderly abuse, Sam.
no.
Oh,
She is
good.
Lee
not
deserves.
elderly.
Lee deserves
He's
after
older
being.
than her. He's older than her, so he's her elder. I'm not saying it like,
That's what I mean by May
everything,
December.
but
She's
it's
older
like
than Thomas, and yeah.
he can't do that. He's too young. He needs somebody
No,
young and
that's the whole
vibrant and
point.
fresh. No,
Oh,
he
I tell you,
still
y'all
needs
don't see
somebody
my
young,
vision.
vibrant, and fresh.
No,
But she said elderly, and I said what? I get
That's
That's
his
why I said
elder.
that's why I said goodness, can.
elderly.
no.
We about
Lee
the same age.
Finnegan.
and she
Lee
calling
Finnegan
me
is
elderly.
fire.
We are
Lee
definitely
Finnegan
the
is
same
fire,
age.
ain't
He's
and
no
older
Thomas
than
elderly.
is hot. I can see
I don't
them
go
being
as far as
attracted to one another.
mature. I don't
Oh,
go
I
as
got
far as
something
mature.
real quick off topic for you guys. If you have the Hulu, Ted King is in a movie on Hulu. I don't even know the name of it. Some about some crazy ass girl that was
Hold on.
friends with his daughter's character in college, and his daughter brought this crazy ass girl home for the holidays because she ain't have no family. And she immediately begins to tear this family apart because she wants Ted King, girl. She
Ouch.
Girl, this
decided
sound like Poison Ivy.
she saw him. She saw him in that picture on that girl's bedside. So these are your parents. She's like, oh, well, that's my mom, and he's actually my stepdad. But whatever. I'm only on campus because they just got married, and I'm trying to let them have their space. Because they newlyweds, they want the fucking stuff around the house. So I'm gonna let them do that because they knew, and so that's why I'm staying on campus. But I'm going home for the holidays. You can come with me. And so the little girl, she starts off as the ugly duckling. Her hair is pent up and she's got the glasses on, right? So she get there to that house and she sees Ted King, and then, she will accidentally let the glasses off. Oh, you are quite attractive, aren't you, girl? You are a little bit pretty if you take your glasses off. Then the girl talked her into taking her hair down. I was like, don't tell that girl to take her hair down. She's trying to get your stepdaddy. Then she started putting shit in folks' food, people falling out, poison. The girl mama, she done just about damn killed her. This is all in the course of this whole being at this house for the holidays. She done took over the family. She got the mama incapacitated. She done took over some kind of meeting they were supposed to have with this other man who kind of got suspicious. And then she had his brake lines cut. When did you have time between making dinner and serving dinner to go out there in that yard and cut that man's damn brakes? Like I don't even know how she was doing shit.
Look,
But
it's called unwanted guests.
that's it. Unwanted gift. Girl, child, yeah. I got a lot of pictures for y'all because I didn't know how many people had the Hulu or not. But I was like, they gonna eat Ted King up. Especially when he was kind of bent over that table in the kitchen. And she was coming up behind him and she walked behind him while he was all bent over. I was like, I bet she touched his booty. She touched his booty when he was bent over. I know she touched his booty. Good. She was about to get her some Ted King.
I mean, I can't blame her in theory, but yeah, you can't be going to people's house acting like that.
Well, girl, they fucked up when they told her she could call them by their first name. I can't even remember what his name was. He was like, oh, yeah, you can just call me Aaron. And then the wife was like, oh, yeah, you can just call me Melissa. This hoe trying to kill y'all. She trying to kill y'all. You talking about just call me Melissa. She trying to take your man. Y'all just got married. I didn't even finish it because once that man's brake lines got cut and I couldn't figure out how she did that or why, I had to leave it alone. And then Bold came on, and so yeah, I just went ahead and tapped out on it. But
Well, I'm gonna have to put that on my list of things to watch because because this sounds like a cross between Poison Ivy and Hand That Rocks the Cradle minus the baby.
yeah, ain't no baby. Lord, I done turned on the wrong street too soon. Ain't no baby in it, but she probably would have tried to make a baby if she'd have had the opportunity to get Ted King from anywhere besides behind that kitchen counter. And then when he realized she was damn crazy, it was too late, girl. He done went upstairs and his wife, she all laid out on the floor from whatever that girl put in the food. That's the last thing I saw. He walked in that room, Melissa. Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Let's
dude.
see. Wait, hold up. You don't have to go to Hulu. It's on Amazon Prime.
Somebody got it, I know.
Okay, so
You can
on
see
the
them
watch
for
list. Yeah, it's included with Prime, so it's going on my list. I'm gonna have to. It's only 86 minutes. I'm gonna have to knock that out over the weekend. Oh,
yeah,
it
would
recommendation.
Y'all not be looking out for y'all. When I was watching it, I just watch movies because I be bored. So I turned it on and I'm staring at him and I'm like, I know this man. I don't know why I don't know Ted King without knowing that it's Ted King. But I sat there for a good 30 minutes staring at that man going, why do I know this man? I know him from somewhere. And then my little brain said, girl, that's Alcazar. I was like, oh, it's Ted King. And then I realized it was Ted King, and I got all excited and took a bunch of pictures that I meant to send y'all. But because I be trying to do 6,000 things at one time, y'all didn't get them pictures. I apologize. But he
I
looked real
surely would have
good.
appreciated those pictures of Ted King because he just does it for me.
I know. I was thinking about you.
I love that silver fox. And you know what? I am so salty. I am so salty that literally since April 1st, we only had one day of Ted King.
It's aggravating because it's like, well, first of all, Bo has been known, and I was hoping they was getting away from this shit, but apparently not. Bo is known for casting good, well-known actors in roles and then not doing them. I'm still mad that they had Vincent is up there and they did that with David. I'm like,
sorry.
I'm like, how you go? I mean, y'all could have made him a flash in the pan villain who disappeared in 30 days. I don't
Even
care.
Robin Givens. She can act her ass off.
The only thing they let her do, they only let her shade Liam for being a trifling bastard, which was, needed, but still, they couldn't let her do more.
They could exactly. Why not bump into her, somewhere she wants to commission a gown or something. But we just can't have nice things. But anywho. Yes, they do a lot of stunt casting. I call it stunt casting too.
You're absolutely right. They have gotten some of the best in daytime to pop on that show for minor roles. Usually doctors, which is why I'm always afraid when they make somebody a damn doctor.
Denise Richards, she was a stunt cast. She was fantastic. Loved her.
Mm-hmm. See, but that one I could tell that one was a little different. There was supposed to be story there. They set it out for there to be story there, and then they changed everything. But whether it was because of her shooting schedule or her having other commitments.
I think she got a job during COVID. You're right, though, because it was one way before COVID and the opposite after COVID. So I think when everything was shut down, she didn't shut down her work opportunities because, who knows what's going to happen.
I mean, look, you got to chase your paper. Your paper ain't going to chase you. I ain't even mad at her.
Right, because one job done dried up don't mean she's not going to take any others.
Exactly. Because the whole tone of that story was positive pre-COVID.
Yes, wasn't it?
Ridge was getting his flirt on. She was flirting back. And there was nothing askew about it because Brooke was, well, for lack of better words, being out of her damn mind. It was all straight. And then when we came back from COVID, it was a whole nother story. So we were supposed to have a story, but that really did look like a case of things just, changed. So I'm not going to hang that one on them. But the rest of these, Holden and Blair and everybody, and no, you do not get those people to come to your show and then just, make a background noise. Just, nah, you don't do that. I'm still waiting for Stacey Barton to come back and say that and do something else other than what she did. I'm like, y'all ain't had to do us like that. Not Blair Nora, excuse me. Nora from One Life to Live.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that if they really do, if our speculation about Jack, or rather about Lee and Dollar Bill has, if we're not completely off base, because yes, we have been completely off base before, has happened before, probably will again. If we're not completely wrong, I'm hoping that we do get that possible, triangle, not just because, I like, Lee, but because I need them to let Ted King, show his range and do something. Because right now, I mean, we got that great scene when he came back, but we haven't seen him since. And I know in
Right.
reality it ain't been that long, but maybe it's because so much is going on. It just feels like it's been a long time.
Nah, it's been a long time. It's been one time since April. I mean, you can't even get less than that.
Ain't that the truth? So tomorrow we will definitely, or rather, Sheila is gonna crack like a 2 minute egg because she know Finn ain't gonna let this go, and she's gonna have to tell him what she did to Lee. Now, my question, now the thing is though, y'all know she gonna sit up there and say it was an accident again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. For a fact. It was an accident. Why she gonna change it up now? She's been saying it for the past 3 weeks. It was an
Well, okay,
accident.
right. So today's spoiler was about Hope confronting Deacon, and then Ridge grilling Mike in the interrogation room. So tomorrow's spoiler is Bill confides in Wyatt about the status of his relationship with Katie. So I guess that's when we'll get an introduction to this new eatery. So I'm gonna be scanning the background like hell because I'm gonna be looking for clues. And Finn is stunned as he listens to Sheila describe what she did to Lee.
So you know what?
Hmm.
I think y'all right on the money with Bill. The last time we got a new set, Thomas met Sheila in the alley. So I think this new restaurant set is probably Bill happening upon Lee because Ken did say Bill's story was going to be big. So yeah, we might be coming upon that. Now that really is going to be something.
It is because, well, first of all, one, yes, it's overdue. Bill needs a story, but also two, to have Lee turn up there. I mean, we all know she ain't dead because there's nobody. If there's nobody, they ain't dead. It's just a matter of when they gonna be found. We all know that. So, but for her to be found by somebody who's only on the peripheries of what happened, because not for nothing, Bill is aware of everything that happened, but he's not a part of what happened. But having him be the person to find out or realize or see Lee or realize who she is in whatever context in which he comes across her is pretty interesting. It's pretty significant.
Yeah,
This,
and that's the way you're supposed to go into a new story. That way, not full of bullshit. So yeah, if we're gonna head into Bill finding Lee, just like you said, happenstance,
mhm.
and that's how he gets pulled into the story. I'm here for it.
Because and you're right about that. That's actually how you're supposed to connect unrelated people to a big canvas wide story like this one. Because I mean, nothing ain't worse than when they try to shoehorn people in. But having Bill do something as innocuous as stumble upon Lee at some seafood restaurant he going to with his sons because they feel it's too tender to eat at Il Giardino is, it's legit. It's actually, somewhat creative and somewhat following normal soap tropes instead of some of the crazy
Mm-hmm.
crap that they do.
Correct.
So I'm
Correct.
so I really want I'm really trying to see where that goes. Because well one, we're overdue, and two, I gotta go back and pull those pictures from John McCook's celebration party. Was Don Diamont
I think so.
there? Okay.
You got
Because
to ask Ken. You said John McCook. Yeah, the 30. The his Emmy party that they had, right?
yes.
Yes,
I thought he was there.
he was on it. He was on the opposite side. Yes, he was on it.
Yeah, I thought so.
Naomi
He
was
was
on
there.
one side and he was on the other side.
Good. Not that I guess I could be grasping at straws, but I consider that a good sign because
Mm-hmm.
there's almost no chance that the people who were in that photo, if they were all in that photo together, then they were
Filming.
most likely on set filming whatever they needed to film that particular day. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, I am trying to definitely see where there is, you know, connections to get me the story that I want to see. Because I'm already mad that I'm not getting what I want on the Jack front, but I need them to put some respect on Lee name. They need to do something.
Mm-hmm. I agree
Okay.
100% because it just doesn't look like we're going to get much of Ted King at all. Is he
No,
doing
and
any other projects right now?
not that I know of. Though, and the thing is that what I would really hope is that they would really take a good hard look at what they should and shouldn't be doing because they got a male lead who won an Emmy. So you know what? And you got a male lead who won an Emmy, and you got a special guest star who won an Emmy. So you know what? That means you got to use what you got.
I wish they were more interested in using some of those characters that I really do miss.
I
I
think
miss Jack and
that
Glenn.
I think that when he did that Bold Live, he mentioned that he was working on something at that time. I don't know if that
I
was
thought he
something that
was
would have been.
I thought he said he had just wrapped up working on something that they had just wrapped shooting.
So he had rapped. Okay. I knew that
I,
he had said something else was going on at that time.
yeah, he had just he did say that he was doing a project, but he just wrapped.
Okay. Well, maybe he
What do they
found
call
something
it? They
else.
just wrap production something.
Yeah, it's in the can.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I just really missed the Finnegan men. I mean, Jack and Finn, I like those two together. I just really did. Just when they was just being, you know, Jack was always on the sly though because he always had that secret from day one.
Well,
But
I'm
I miss those
hoping that once the news is, out that Finn is in fact, that the news of his death was greatly exaggerated, that they actually put some paper under the Fennecans and let them run, so to speak, because that's what was missing from the second half of last year. That
two. Yep.
all these times when we should have been getting story that was with Lee and Jack and Finn, all we was getting was Finn and some Sheila, Finn with Steffi, but we
Paris.
never.
Yep. Then with Hope and it at the Il Giardino, but we wasn't getting the Finnegans at all.
Yeah, all the stuff that didn't make no sense. Because one, the stuff with him and Hope didn't make no sense, and the stuff with him and Paris was I don't know what the hell that was. It's some kind of odd chemistry test, I guess. But you know what? If you want to test chemistry, you should do it in ways other than that because that did not do Paris any favors.
Mm-mm.
No,
Not at
sending
all.
her to live at her boss's house, her newlywed boss's house with their newly born baby. Girl, if you don't take
And
your
she getting
ass
hot
over there to
for her
Tom
husband.
Blow, right, and you sitting here having daydreams about your boss's husband, take your ass on over there to that Holiday Inn Express.
For me, it's the fact that she lusting for the person that so basically she bit the hand that fed her. I that to me is a real low person, that somebody done took you in and gave you shelter and welcomed you like family, and what you gonna do is lust for my husband,
Oh,
Trish?
that's what Katie did to Bridget. I said that out
Mhm.
loud.
Nah,
Ooh,
man, girl, you good. You talking about some Holiday Inn Express. Paris needed to be at the Sunset Suites after that mess.
girl, she can take her ass to Tom Blodell. He will leave the lights on.
Yeah. That's the kind. That's why I don't have a lot of female friends. Right there.
Tom
That
Blodell has left the lights on. You know what? It's not just women though. I mean, I have lots of women friends. Most of my women friends are married. Ain't that now one of them got a husband I would want? Ain't not now one of them got a man that could tempt me out of my friendship? And in some cases, I have friends who are men and then they went and got married. Boy, I done known you since damn high school and now you can't talk to me because you done married this stranger. Sir, 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 I have known you literally your entire life. We got in trouble together as kids. We wasn't doing nothing then but being brother and sister as far as I was concerned. But your wife don't like you having friends, and I don't like that your wife don't like me. That bitch don't know me.
No, I think it was different. I think that he had been cheating on the wife already, and he done got caught and got busted, and she is making him clear all the hoes out the phone. Period. She don't care who they is. They could be his auntie, his uncle, them, sister, cousin-in-law. She just wasn't having it. That's why he had to go that route and go drastic. Because a man that is not cheating is not gonna go that way. He's not gonna just delete his stuff out his phone. He's just not. He's gonna tell her she's being ridiculous and to calm down.
Well, that wasn't the case.
It wasn't?
No, that wasn't the case at all. When I tell you that I've known this man my entire life, I mean like my entire life. I've known this man like a brother. If he's fucking somebody, I know it. Because that's how it was. We're in high school. I mean, we were kids. You know, your best friend in high school, y'all tell each other everything. I didn't have a best friend that was a girl in high school. Well, I had one best friend who was a girl, and she and we were thick as thieves. We was closer than close. But me and him were the same way. We were thick as thieves. We were closer than close. He dated some of my friends. We would talk about it. You know, I'd be like, I don't know if you really need to be dating her because y'all not ready or right for each other right now. And she was my friend, but not my best friend, but this was another girl that I was friends with. And I loved her dearly, but she was not the one for him. And I told him that I don't think that you should put any more stock in her because she's not right for you. And then the girl he married, I know her too. And she probably don't like me because I told him the same thing about her. She's an uppity bitch. And you're really with her now because of the sex, because she's doing shit that wasn't nobody else doing. That's the only reason that she's attracted to you. That's the only reason you want to put a ring on it is because she let you do stuff when nobody else letting you do. So maybe you should put a ring on it. But I mean, I don't see y'all lasting no longer than maybe about 5 years. I be telling people their lives and shit like that. But they've been married for about 15, 20 years now. They got a kid. They got 2 kids. But I still tell him the same thing. I ain't like that hoe when you're married or so. But y'all married now, so it's okay. We could be friends, but when I was in high school, there, how certain girls run in cliques, and if you're not a popular girl, then you're not in their clique. I was never a popular girl, and I was never in the popular clique. Mm-hmm. And so she was popular and people knew her and she was in the cliques and things like that. So those kinds of girls always look down on girls like me. And so that kind of also went through high school and college. And so that's why I said when she didn't want him to really be friends with me, because I was not the popular girl in high school and I was the one who told him not to marry that pussy. And so because he could do better. I knew what he liked and she wasn't what he liked, but she did what he liked. And I'm like, I don't know, sir. That's only going to take you so far. But then, like I said, they've been married for about 15, 20 years now. So girls, just do what the man like. It don't matter if you ain't his type or not. If you do what he like, then now you his type. You can have one eyeball and he could be looking for 3. But if you do what he like, he going to take your one eyeball and pretend 2 in the back of your head that he can't see. That's what I learned in life. That's what life has taught me about having friends who are men. You ain't even got to be what they want, but if you do what they want, then you in.
No, you're right about that. You admit that's when men aren't that complicated. They not like that. They really are not that complicated.
They're not. But then Sam is also right too. A lot of women are like that. They don't want their husbands to have women friends because they know that their husbands are whores and that their husband will be out somewhere making ghetto twins if they didn't keep a tight road on them. But guess what, sis? That ain't the man for you either. You married him, but you sitting here putting out all this stress about I can't let him have no friends like that because his dipstick will be in the wrong damn oil pan. Well, girl, come on now. If I got to keep tabs on you like that and we married, I can't be married to you because I don't have that kind of time in my life to be caring about who you friends with. And then if I find out that you fucking one of your friends, male, female, or otherwise, sir, we're done. We're done because you need somebody that can yank your chain, and I need a man I need a John Finnegan, and you out here being a Liam. You out here being a fucking Liam, and I need a John Finnegan, sir. So you know what? Bounce. You can go ahead on. I'm gonna let you go on and be the best Liam Cooper Spencer that you can be, but I'm gonna be over here on this couch folding laundry until my John Finnegan finds me. That's what I'm
doing. No, nobody. Because here's the thing, Liam, for all the worthlessness that he has done, Liam has. I mean, in a real life perspective, Liam would have aged the shit out of both Steffi and Hope for all of that mess. They would have being with him would have put 20 extra years on their lives over the 10 years of back and forth that they had to go through.
Well, you saw Steffi matured real fast, but Hope is still living in her fantasy in the cabin.
Hey, she can keep it. If it keep him off the streets, that's what I kind of look at that as. It's like he gotta be kept off the streets, and so the cabin and Hope keeps him off the streets. So as far as I'm concerned, she is doing a service to humanity. Let her keep serving. Yes, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But Liam has done too much damage. The show, unfortunately, went horribly downhill for years because Belle was obsessed with the idea that the only story there was to tell that was worth telling was who was going to take a ride on Liam next. I can't go back to that. I'm like a criminal who's been paroled. You're not sending me back. You can never send me back. I'm not going back in.
I'll kill you bitches before I go back in.
Exactly. I can't go back to that. Under no circumstances. I would have to give up the show in its entirety before going back to that. Not after no good man like John Finnegan then came into the picture, fighting life, death, and crazy ass mamas to get back to his woman.
His family. Not just his woman, family. His family.
Yeah, his family, exactly.
His whole family.
And Kelly.
Including Kelly.
That's his baby girl.
That's correct. And that's why I don't want Steffi to have any more girls. I want Kelly to be the only girl, and I want her to be special to Finn because she is his princess, his daughter, his only girl. Because that's just the way I want it to be. I need her to be special to somebody because she's never been special to her deadbeat. So
but you know it's not gonna last. You know it won't last because then they will eventually, if they don't decide to give her a sibling with Finn that is going to lead to a triangle someday, then you know she's gonna be in that triangle with Beth. But
I just want Kelly to have all brothers.
That would be nice if she did have all brothers. I would love that.
The symmetry, but I think the symmetry of Steffi being a twin herself and not having a sister anymore, then the whole mess with Phoebe of trying to give Kelly a sister and then having it turn out to be what it is, I think that they probably would script Steffi with another daughter sometime in the future.
Yeah,
I want it to be way down in the future. I don't want it to be anytime soon. Because you know what, I think that should stand. Steffi tried to adopt a daughter, and the daughter that she adopted was taken from her. That's it. She tried, and that's how it turned out. I mean, I wouldn't see it as robbery if she never had another daughter.
No, well, that's the thing, though. I mean, her reason of that child not working out because, well, it was a fraud mess inside of a fraud mess. Doesn't mean that she wouldn't want to still have, because one, a lot of this is largely dependent on not just the storyline, but on JMW. We already know she intends to have more children. So part of it is whether or not the show actually wants to write in another pregnancy to coincide whenever her next maternity leave is. And if they do, I just don't see them, especially if they're keeping Steffi with Finn long term whenever this happens, whether it's next year, the year after, whatever, we don't know. I
Who's
don't
got the
see them.
feedback?
Is it me?
I don't hear it.
Was it me?
I don't know.
I hear it. I'm on mute. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't see them. Maybe it is me. Hold on. Because I hear some kind of, let's see.
I know it's not me because I'm still on my phone and I'm in my basement and I'm not near my computer.
I just came off mute. How do I sound?
You sound fine. You sounded fine before.
I just came off of me too. And
Okay, it was Darling. I was hearing a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of feedback from Darling.
Well, maybe I guess it must have been me. I wonder why. I didn't change anything. I'm on the same thing I was on the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
I
But you
gotta go.
sound a little better now.
My phone thinks said, y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, ladies.
Have a good night, Can.
Thank you.
Oh wait, I wanted to ask that. Not to get off the subject of Steffi and whether or not her next child will be a boy or girl. Though I will say that the symmetry of the show probably demands that she have a set of twins at some point. Don't know how, don't know why, but eventually, yeah.
Then they
I
should
was
be
about
twin
to say
boys.
that.
Yeah.
She
would
should
love
have
it.
twins
I
for
would
sure.
Huh?
Twin boys would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I would accept that. But I think because having a sister for Kelly was so important to her before that it led to this whole Baby Beth storyline that at some point she will be giving they're gonna give Kelly a sister that came from Steffi because that was important to her. You know, that bond. She wanted Kelly to grow up with a sister the same way that she did. So it may not be soon because at this point it's too late for them to bond in the same way that they did. You know, a couple of years ago when it was Phoebe, they was just, 18 months apart, not even that.
They were
They
6
weren't
months
even
apart.
18 months apart, 6 months apart, whatever it was. So it was a more doable thing that she wanted to raise them up together in the same crib and all that and sharing life. She was open to doing that and probably being the main caretaker and keeping them kids at her house. But Hope and Mammy fought that, talking about Taylor is so dangerous. We just can't let our future Logan baby anywhere near that woman and her cane. And
Even
so,
while she's still in the womb.
right, even while she in the womb, we can't even talk about it. It's not up for discussion. It's never gonna happen. And so after all of that sound and fury, if Kelly don't get a sister that came from Steffi and Finn, personally, I'm going to be offended. I'm going to feel like I've been lied to, and I'm going to feel like I've been hornswoggled because that's what she wanted for her little girl. We had to put up with a whole year of Hope sitting around crying and doing dumb shit, and Thomas getting blamed for shit that he didn't do. I want some payoff. Kelly's getting a damn sister.
At some point, we don't know when, but yeah, somewhere, somehow, in there, she getting a sister.
Right, we don't know when. Maybe soon, because y'all know Jackie and Elon was over there in Monaco having that international baby making sex. They probably made triplets. That would take care of things for a while.
Steffi gets a lot of things taken from her that was really important to her. So, if her wanting a daughter, a sister for Kelly, I think that she wanted the, like you said, Bubbles, the same experience she had with Phoebe, but that time has passed now. So Steffi has already lost what she wanted for Kelly.
Lost it. It was taken away. And I'm not with y'all now. I want that baby to not be damn Beth at all. Sometime during the future, I need Beth to be the new Katie Logan. And she needs some kind of a transplant from a family member, and it ain't gonna be her mama. Or it ain't gonna be her daddy.
I still don't want her back over at Steffi's house. Steffi
Oh
doesn't have
no.
a daughter
Oh
because
no,
when
she can't
Steffi
go
and
back to
Tim
Oh
didn't
Steffi's
have
no,
it.
no,
house.
no, no, no. That would be the catalyst for them to want to find out what actually happened to the real Lope baby, because that means that Reese was on some whole other level of shenanigans that they never even considered. So
Child, I
that would
pass.
be, yeah, that would be
I
that
pass.
would be what they
I
would
don't
do
need
with
to
that.
do another baby Beth nothing. And for all my lifetime. I
Well,
would
that's the
pass
thing.
on that.
Part of it depends. Well, that's the thing. I'm thinking something more along the lines of One Life to Live and that mess with Natalie and Jessica, only they're not twins. This would have to be
Mm.
yeah, this would have to be something that happens in the future, not while these kids are still babies. Nobody wants to see that. But throw some mess
No.
like that out there in the teenage years, that's a whole different issue. Especially the way all these children like to run the 23andMe.
Yeah, let her need to go on a class trip to Europe or some shit and she need a blood test. I don't know. Make something up. It's a
They'll,
story.
they'll come up with
Yeah,
something.
but Steffi still doesn't have Kelly still never got that twin. Kelly never got that sister that Steffi tried to provide her to give her what she wanted. So
Well,
either
that
way, whatever happens with Beth in the future, whether it's tomorrow or in a decade, Steffi still didn't get what she wanted when she adopted a child.
no, she didn't. But as far as I'm concerned, her not getting what she wants don't mean she can't get better down the line.
Yeah, I
And a
want her to
baby,
have a house full of sons.
and well,
Big,
a
strong,
baby with
strapping men to protect Kelly because she gonna need it.
well,
No,
she
Kelly
already
gonna
got
be a
her first.
badass.
Well, yeah, she's gonna take after her mama, so she already got her first son out the way. Because, but also, you know how it is. They're not gonna give her no unlimited children. Most soap characters these days, I'm still surprised to this day that they let Samantha Jean Brady have 4 whole damn children, but one set was twins, so I guess that's part of that. But I don't.
And
But they
I'm
don't.
mad she had twins for EJ's over rest their ass.
Only one of them. The other
Right,
one
only
was
one of them EJ's. The
the
other
only
one
one of them.
Lucas.
Exactly.
And
So
that's some guiding light bullshit right there. Okay.
It
it
can happen in
is.
real life.
Yes, it is. That is some guiding light bullshit. They stole that shit off of Blake ass when she got knocked up by Rick and her husband.
Yes, and that was one of the first storylines I remember from Guiding Light watching in high school because we switched over to Guiding Light late, and that was one of the first storylines um, that I remember. We started watching Guiding Light because I wanted to know who them people on the farm was. They was
Exactly.
always talking about them people out there. Who was the
The
Snyder?
Snyder. Yeah, the Snyder.
Mhm. Was always talking about them people on and Emma. So I was like,
Hmm.
let me see what these people out here on this farm doing. And I was pleased.
I was like, that was the first daytime story of a pair of twins having a different father that I ever recall. Because one, I was like, what in the science fiction is this bullshit? But only to find out that wait, you trying to tell me that this is technically possible?
Yes, it
And,
is.
yeah, at the time back then, I don't think most of us realized that that was actually something that could happen in real life. But apparently, the people who did the background studies on God and Light before they did the story actually went ahead and looked up and said, yes, a woman can have twins with 2 separate fathers.
Yep.
Or worse, if they really wanted to be messy, they could go do like how they did on Maury Povich with that girl who had been sleeping with a pair of twin brothers, only and wanted to do a DNA test to find out who her son was, only to find out, according to the DNA test, you may never know who the father is because they are identical twins.
Now her dumb ass had to pay attention in science class. She could have saved all that money and time. I could have told you that before you finished the story.
I,
If
I
you
was
identical twins, you identical all the way down to your DNA. We don't know who your damn baby daddy is.
I was
Don't be
so
a hoe.
I was so disgusted because I was like, wait, they're gonna be able to tell which twin is the daddy? Only for the results to come out and say you will never know who the father really is. They both is basic.
But so they both have different DNA. You're not identical down to your DNA.
Yes, you are.
In a DNA test, you are. If you're not if you're a paternal twin, but these were
But so that's the
identical
thing
twins.
though. With a DNA test, it is testing probability based on population. So no way they would be able to tell the difference between those 2 individuals if they're identical twins.
Hmm. And that's exactly what
But
happened with her.
if you do a DNA test between those 2 individual twins separately, those DNA tests are going to be different. If if a person that reads DNA markers read one twin's DNA marker versus the other, they will see differences.
But that's the thing. Those tests are in percentages. So if the way that they tested them, I don't know what specific how they do it, but the problem is you said it right. It's a probability. So when they did the test results, they kept coming up with basically the same number of probability for both men.
Because it would be exactly the same probability, right? Because it's based on population. Against the population, all these DNA tests. But how likely is it that he's the father instead of somebody else? It's impossible to tell those two different between that kind of test between two individuals. But what I'm saying is, if a geneticist that reads DNA read the DNA of two individual twins, the DNA is different. Nobody has the exact same DNA.
Well, I'll go ahead and give you that because I'm not an expert on the subject, but just from the way that the test results played out for the parent test, though this was some years ago, they told her, they said inconclusive. We cannot give you.
I don't even believe identical twins have the same fingerprint.
Yes, they do. I kind of had to go through some of this stuff before, but identical twins really seriously are identical down to their very fibers. Their patterns are the same. That's why if somebody commits a crime and there's an identical twin.
I just asked Alexa, do identical twins have the same fingerprints? It does say, although identical twins share the same the same generic blueprint, they do not have matching fingerprints. So what is same genetic blueprint? Because that's not the same as the exact same DNA. Genetic.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, I guess
genetic. Well, that's what Alexa said, and that came from, I guess, Getty.
Okay, so this is what Google says. Even identical twins who have.
I lost your audio. How can I lose your audio right at the perfect part?
Oh no, she dropped out.
She sure did. I thought it was me.
Bubbles? No, it wasn't you. Bubbles got caught dead. Bubbles, can you hear us? Because we sure can't hear you, child.
She got two screens up. Ain't no telling what happened.
Well, I know she took her cell phone to go run her errand. But I think she left the other one in.
Yeah, my Google can't connect to the Wi-Fi. It's so strange. I just asked Alexa in the same room and she answered, but Google can't answer right now. Yeah. Okay.
And I see that we well, I guess Bubbles must be working on it because she knocked out one. One question I wanted to ask, because it's already after 9, so we're over, was that what is our plan for tomorrow night since we have drama in prime time with the hearing?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. So what I was reading to you from Google, it says, well, goddamn it. I lost it because I had to log off.
It's elusive. So yeah, what we're gonna do about drinks the day after, since there's a hearing tomorrow night?
We probably it's 9:00, 9:06. You know what? Let me think about it. What time is the hearing tomorrow?
I thought it was 8 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We might live watch it, like sit on the mute and watch it, and then we might do that. A watch party.
So last time I watched it, I was packing, so I could be my ADD and go in. That would be very hard for me to focus, but I'll be there. Y'all might hear moments of silence, but I'll be there.
Well, that's fine. That's fine, because we're gonna all be on mute until they drop bombs, and then we're gonna be gasping. So it'll be fine.
Exactly. We're gonna probably try to squeeze in a little Bold and the Beautiful at the start.
Oh yeah, because I expect Bold is gonna be good tomorrow. She lives in about Lee tomorrow, so
yeah. So we are going to definitely have plenty to go over for the show, but then we're gonna have this mess with this country. And these people up here on live TV trying to wiggle their way out of some lies.
Yes, that's what they're gonna be doing.
I'm still up here shaking my head at the Secret Service having saying, "Oh well, we migrated to different phones, so those messages are lost." I'm like, "Use a damn lie."
Baby,
Mm.
T-Mobile already working on it, and Verizon probably digging through something right now,
Get
so
it?
they can
Yeah,
keep thinking.
they done already called and threatened the CEOs and the owners and the board members of those cell phone companies to let them know if they cross Trump that they'll never see another penny again. They're going to jail for everything they ever done, and nothing will happen. That's just me
Boo-hoo.
being negative. But Trump is going to get away with everything he plans on getting away with.
All I know is if I was the head of T-Mobile, Verizon, I wouldn't be afraid of no damn Donald Trump. I'm sorry, but that would not be on my list of people to be scared of.
Right.
And that's on the Secret Service anyway. Because if there was if whatever shenanigans was going on, they was foolish to be involved in it. Period. So if you get caught, if you get got, you get got.
Well, honey,
Yes,
it's all about being compromised, and we fixing to see tomorrow. I bet you.
Good night, everybody.
Yep. Everybody have a good night.
Good
Thank you,
night. Talk
guys.
to
Good
y'all tomorrow
night.
night.
And thanks Natalie and SB right over on Facebook, on YouTube.
You
Have a
too.
good
Thanks,
night.
guys. Good night.
Good night, guys.